Well, good morning. It's Walter and I. We're in the house this morning. We're continuing our observation of the book of James. And today we're looking at James 1:19, and I've titled this, Shut Your Mouth. James 1:19 says, Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear and slow to speak and slow to anger. Again, the first thing I want you to realize, as I mentioned earlier, he's talking to the brethren, his beloved. So he's talking to a specific group of people, believers. I remember growing up, my mother saying, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, which means you should listen twice as much as you speak. And I find out that a lot of times my mouth gets me in a lot of trouble. Plus, it's hard to learn a lot of times when you're talking. And I find that I learn, and I'm sure most people do, learn more when they're listening to someone speak. But also I believe that you can listen with your eyes when you're reading the words that are found in the Bible or in other books that godly men that God has inspired to share what he's also spoken to them. And I think it sort of says what it needs to say. So my response is probably wisdom to remember what my mother said. And I think that's probably something that's good for all of us, is to take time not just to hear, but I submit there's a difference between hearing and listening. And I think you would agree to the same thing. And really, my dialogue is, Lord and my best friend, help me to be aware that when my mouth starts running, a lot of people may quit listening. They may hear me, but they quit listening. And that's the reason that at the end of my prayer, when I say, your turn, that's time for me just to shut my mouth and to listen and to see if I hear your still small voice. So it's in your name I pray. We'll talk again soon and often, and I'll be listening until we talk face to face. Your turn. My takeaway from reading this is really very simple. Today, on purpose, with intentionality, as I go to church, I'm going to get a chance to speak this morning, but I also need to hear what's being said, not just with my ears, but with my eyes. So Walter and I wish you a blessed day, and we'll continue with James tomorrow.